So day 2 of framing the walls. We got one wall framed. We're actually gonna have to move that out of the way. That way we can lay out the slanted wall, so the end wall on our east and west sides, and chalk line it out. That way we have the angles correct and everything. So we're gonna get going. The plan is we'll mark at 12 foot along this purple line because we know it's straight. Because this is the tall side. On the other side, we'll mark at 8 foot along the purple line. We'll snap a line, and that's where our top plate is going to have to go. Let's check. It was pretty challenging to cut all of these studs off at the right angle. While I was cutting vertically, the saw wouldn't adjust to the angle we needed. It can adjust angles, it just couldn't adjust to the direction we needed it. So I just had to guesstimate what that angle was based on that first cut that I made. Some of them turned out pretty well and some of them weren't the greatest, but they'll all work. Got regular stud span. We're gonna have a window opening here, so the header and this stuff was hard to figure out. We've got a door opening for a French door, and then we've got another window opening on the other side, plus just regular studs. So today I have 2 hours before I gotta leave and pick Chelsea up. I'm gonna try to get the other wall done. As I kind of talked about in our last video where we framed our first wall, we sight down the stud to make sure all the crowns are facing the same direction. That way when we put up drywall, we don't have a big discrepancy in the depth of the stud in the wall, so the drywall doesn't turn out wavy. Now that we have all our studs laid out where they're supposed to go, I'm going to go and nail them to the top and bottom plates. And then we'll go back, have to add a post. That's gonna be 3 studs wide on one point. And then we'll go back, frame windows and doors, so we should be good. So when we marked the layout for this wall, we made a slight mistake. We didn't account for the jack studs in the width of the doors and the windows, which meant when I was framing the wall, I had to use that 2x6 block as a spacer so that the king studs would be far enough out to allow for the jack studs to be in the correct space. Otherwise, our jack studs would have made the windows and door openings slightly narrower than they're supposed to be. So the next thing I'm going to frame out is the door. So that's how we do the door. We have our king stud going all the way up. We've got our cripple, and the cripple will hold up the header. Once it's in place, walls are square, we'll sawzall out that center section for the actual door. We should be good. We've got 2 more windows to do. We've got a 4 foot by 4 foot window, and we've got a 2 foot by 2 foot porthole window. We also got to do the post. So I'm going to do some measuring, and let's put this post in. There's our post, 3 1x3s, 3 2x6s. Those 3 2x6s don't perfectly fit the width of the glue lamp beam, so I'm extending the jack stud all the way to the top plate, and then I'm notching out a 2x6 to fit right behind our header. That way there will be bearing all the way down on that post. Just because this is the glue lamp beam holding up most of the second floor, I wanted it not to just be the header, or single ply header, but to actually extend all the way down with the 2x6s. There's going to be a glue lamp beam sitting on here supporting the entire second floor. No chances. Cool, let's do one of the windows. This is a 4 foot by 4 foot window. It's going to be in our mudroom. 51. For aesthetic reasons, I want all the tops of the windows and doors on a single wall to all be the same height. That way when you're looking at that wall, they don't appear to be at different heights. So I was measuring the height of that jack stud for the door. That way I would know at what height I needed to put the jack studs for the window and where the header for the window needed to be. This is wrong. And right here is where I realize that I'm not framing out a door, I'm framing out a window, so I need a place for the bottom sill of the window to be. So I've got to take out the studs I just put in, cut them to the correct length to fit that bottom plate, and then I'll just cut the width of a 2x6 to fit that and put it all back in. To get a pitch to our bottom sill of the window so water will roll out of it and run out, I'm going to use these 2 shims. So the problem I just ran into, this header should be towards the outside. We've been putting them all towards the inside for some unknown reason. I think I can just get a metal sawzall blade and run it down and just cut the 3 nails on each side of the header, move it up and re-nail it in. And I think that's gonna be the best option. And then in the meantime, I'm just gonna finish this wall. I've got one more rough opening to do. It's going to be for our 2-foot by 2-foot window in the shower. And I'm just gonna do this one right. That's how that's actually supposed to look. What? I'm motioning to them.
Yeah, in my face.
Well, then switch sides with me and I'll motion this way. What?
That doesn't fix it.
So we're gonna have to move that wall up this way. And then we're going to lay out the other walls, the slanty wall. No, you were. Oh God! I almost straight up fell into that hole. I put those ones in backwards. Window done. That's wrong. All these are wrong. Ah! It was going so well. Ah!